It glitched all the way through the intro on my end. Did it glitch on your end, or is that just my internet?
I think it's just your internet. I don't think
All
it likes
right.
you right now.
Awesome. My internet never likes me. So, welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. This is Under the Radar, where myself and CM are going to talk about BTE, MLW, Impact, and Ring of Honor from this last week. It is September 29th. We have No Mercy tomorrow for WWE and Wrestle Dream for AEW on Sunday. So, make sure you join us for those pay per view watch alongs. No Mercy will be at the same time as our Collision watch along tomorrow. So, as long as you're there for our Collision watch along, you'll get No Mercy as well. I guess as usual, I will
That sounds
go.
weird. Hold on, before I jump off.
Yeah.
As long as you're watching Collision, you'll get No Mercy as well. Like
Oh yeah, I
that's
guess that's not
just
true. I mean, if you're
it's a
joining
fun way
us
to phrase
for
it.
our collision watch along, we will also be doing a watch along for No Mercy at the same time. So that's what I meant to say.
All right, I guess I'll go while you talk about
You can
MLW.
stay if you want, but I know you like taking a
No,
minute to.
I'll be making my faces in the background like I usually do.
All right. So this week on MLW, they're still gearing up for Slaughterhouse on October 14th. So most of the stuff is working towards that. Um, we had Selena De Laurenta coming out to tell us that she had a big announcement at the beginning of the show. Um, Tiara James beat up Zeta Steel. It wasn't. It's not really worth talking about. I mean, it was an okay match. Two women that I'm not very familiar with. They're trying to make their name on MLW, so it wasn't bad. Then they had a video package between Second Gear Crew and The Calling. And if you're familiar with GCW at all, you know who Jimmy Lloyd is. Well, Jimmy Lloyd is now in MLW. I don't know if he's exclusive to MLW. I think MLW does. They're pretty open with their contracts. So even if he has an MLW contract, we'll still see him, I assume, in GCW. But for now, he is in MLW and he is with the Second Gear Crew: Mance Warner, one called Manders, and Matthew Justice. Um, let's see, Selena. Then we have Selena making her announcement saying that the big announcement is that there will be um, crossed booked matches between CMLL and Major League Wrestling. And the first one will be Rocky Romero, who I guess wrestles for CMLL, uh, will take on Akira at MLW Slaughterhouse for the middleweight championship. Um, so that should be fun. I'm excited for that match. Rocky Romero is really good. Obviously, we all know Rocky. And Akira is fun too, so that should be good. TJ Crawford defeated Kevin Blackwood and Alec Price. Alec Price is also of GCW fame. We're big fans of him. Um, and this match was good. I was kind of surprised TJ Crawford got the win here, but um, and then after the match, it wasn't really after the match. It was kind of at the end of the match. It's actually how TJ Crawford got the win. But Masked Man attacked Alec Price at ringside, so um, we weren't sure who it was at first, and then he reveals himself, and it's Tony Deppen. So Tony Deppen attacked Alec Price. Not totally sure why. They don't really explain any of that. But it is what it is. I guess maybe that'll come out in the next couple weeks. Um, then Ichiban does a little promo, talks about how he's a skilled warrior and he wants to become the number one middleweight. Not much to talk about there. Video package for Mr. St. Laurent's World Titan Federation. He now has Matt Cardona, Snitsky, and Davey Boy Smith in his stable. So he's excited. He's happy. He's definitely made. He says he's made upgrades since Microman was his only client. I disagree. I think his stable was better when he only had Microman. But it is what it is. Uh, so then they announced a couple more matches for Slaughterhouse. National Openweight Championship, Manders from Second Gear Crew versus Ricky Chain Page from The Calling. A Chamber of Horrors match, which will be the Second Gear Crew versus The Calling. And then the women's featherweight championship match will be Dami Exo versus Becca, which they announced before. Um, Akira and Jimmy Lloyd have a street fight for the MLW middleweight championship. Akira wins and retains his belt. Um, and then The last thing that we see for this episode is Mr. St. Laurent confirming that Davey Boy Smith Jr. will be fighting Alex Kane for the title at Slaughterhouse on October 14th. So that was basically MLW in a little over 5 minutes. It was an okay episode. Well, not a whole lot of wrestling, and the wrestling that there wasn't great. More of a build-up show, still the Slaughterhouse. So it was all right. I'll bring CM back, and we'll move on to something else. Which would what do we want to talk about next? We want to talk about Impact or Ring of Honor? You're muted.
I guess we could talk about Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Jimmy Jacobs
Uh,
is back.
Jimmy
Or was
Jacobs
back.
is back. That was probably the biggest news of the show. Is that
Yeah.
Jimmy Jacobs is back? It was a long episode again. Lots of
Mm.
matches. Um,
But
but yeah,
see, when you
no.
chunk it up, it's not that bad.
Well, when they, what they do a good job of is at least they don't have too much stuff in between the matches. It's like just from match to match. So there's not like a bunch of video packages, entrances, and all that stuff. They really just get right to the matches. So, which at least condenses the 11 matches that would normally take 3 hours on a pay-per-view into an hour and a half on the shows.
Well,
But I'm
Josh
looking here at the list
Woods.
of matches, and there was actually 12 matches on the show. So,
Do we count the Josh Woods match as a match? I don't.
right,
I
that
don't.
was
Let's
definitely
not
a
count that.
squash.
Um,
Scorpio Sky's back as well.
I like that. I like that he's getting more reps now, like getting reps
Yeah,
out there again because it's been a while. Love it. Um, I wish Lee Johnson had beat Gravity.
yeah, I do too. That was a good match, though. I did think that for me, that was probably the best gravity match I think I've seen with my own eyes. I liked it the most. I thought he looked the best so far. The few times I've seen him before, he left a little to be desired. I thought he looked really good last night.
Yeah.
But I still think Lee
I
Johnson should have won.
yeah. I wish he had. Um, I'm wondering what's going on with this Billy Starks and Athena thing because I can see it being, oh, she's gonna turn on her, da 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 da, and I'm like, okay, so is she gonna be the one who takes it? I like them together. I like them as a feud. Still don't like Athena as a person, but overall it's good.
Yeah, I think she seems to like this role, and it seems to fit her well. She seems to be good in this role of being a bossy bully.
Mhm.
And Billy Stark seems to be she's doing a really good job of being kind of not sure what to do and what how to take it all and to want to be like Athena's friend slash whatever, but also wants to win the title and so yeah, no, I mean I think Zoe or Billy Starks is doing a good job of seeming conflicted. I like it. I think it's fun. It's one of the it's really the only what I would call fun thing on Ring of Honor at the moment. I mean, they have a lot
Eh,
of good things, but it's really the only like fun thing, like kind of
yeah.
comedic, kind of I mean, you can
We
call
gon'
Dalton Castle kind of comedic all the time, but
but Dalton Castle, when he is in the mood,
oh yeah,
before he gets pissed off, can like put on a show. Like Dalton Castle is one of those wrestlers. He is MJF with a better work rate.
yeah,
Man can
I can
cut a
see that.
promo. That man can wrestle. He has a character. He is all of it wrapped up. If his injury had not happened when it did, I do not think he would be in ROH.
Yeah, I also think that even though in 2023 we're more accepting of that kind of flamboyant outwardly sexualized persona, especially when it comes to the LGBTQ community. And I'm not saying that he is at all, but he has that kind of air to him. But I'm wondering if that hasn't held him back in the past a little bit,
Oh, I'm
being
sure it
a
has.
little too flamboyant. That's why he's not in WWE or AEW mainstream TV like that.
I am I am very certain it has.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. Okay. Um, talk, in a group, they were calling WWE the best, and I was like, so what are they the best at besides having a brand name? Like because
Right.
they've been around for so long. I was like,
Sure.
not women's wrestling, not tag wrestling, not even men's single, women's single. What are they the best at?
Yeah.
And no one could come up with anything. And then I was like, huh. You were just saying like all the like the flamboyance and stuff, and then I was like, huh. Has WWE had an outwardly non-straight person
I mean, so
win,
they've had some, androgynous characters. Adrian Adonis was kind of androgynous,
but
but
never
not
not
not outwardly. I'm gay. No, not outwardly. I'm homosexual. Definitely not. And they've never had anyone say anything like Bowen said on TV. No, not on WWE TV, or
gross,
or
buddy.
any of the stuff that Effie does in the ring, or that I
Oh
mean,
god.
yeah,
That was hilarious when he was
the
like, "In
closest
case you
thing
haven't noticed, I'm gay."
the closest thing that I think we've even gotten to that was when people were having to kiss Vince McMahon's ass, which was clearly,
Billy and
bizarre.
Chuck. Billy and
Billy and
Chuck.
Chuck. Billy and Chuck, that's true. I
Billy
forgot
and
about
Chuck.
Billy and Chuck, that's true.
But yeah,
But
okay, back
yeah,
on.
back on.
Shane Taylor versus Jimmy Jacobs was good.
It was.
Um, I need the infantry to stop losing, especially to Cole Carter and Griff
I agree.
Jarrison.
Yeah, I was disappointed
The
with that.
hell?
I felt like
Um,
when they got Trisha Dora, they were kind of pushing them, and it seemed like they were getting more time and a couple wins, and now they've taken a couple losses, and I'm not sure what they're doing.
but also Trisha Dora versus Shook Dunkerton is happening very
Yep.
soon for the Pan African Wrestling World Championship.
Okay.
Also, um, Darius Lockhart. If you don't know who Darius Lockhart is, please go look him up. He is starting a new wrestling company called Ase, and their first show is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Grady Center December 1st. It is going to be wrestling and a hip hop show. So make sure you get your tickets because I'm going to try to be there.
Yeah,
Because,
I think
yeah.
Darius Lockhart is one of those very well kept secrets. Like if you know wrestling, you know him, but if you don't, you don't. Like, but if you're aware of him, yeah, he's extremely underrated. He should be on a big screen somewhere
The
doing something.
first time I ever saw him that I can remember was for the culture this year, and I was glued to the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah. I've
He
only seen him a few times, but he definitely has that personality for sure.
that wriggle. That's who he reminds me of. That technicality, that showmanship, that I'm better than you because I can do this and you can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, give me all
yeah.
that. But back to ROH and their 50-11 matches. Um, like the matches this week were good.
They
They were
were.
a lot were okay to good, but it's just max out at like 6 or 7, Tony. Max out at 6 or 7 and have some good
Yeah.
promos there so your stories develop and then you can kind of carry some things on. I know you tape a lot, but cut it out 6 or 7 and then put things together because it's a lot to watch and
I mean, if
we
you're
break
gonna
it up
give
in
us
2
12
sessions.
matches, if you're gonna give us 12 matches, I like the way they do it, where it's just cut from match to match. But I'd prefer, like you're saying, if they just give us six with a little bit of promos in between or a
Yeah.
package in between, so that we at least have some story. Let's see.
Or like
Anything?
7. Give me
Yeah.
7 and 1 be a squash.
Yep. I'm gonna say my new favorite tag team is the Outrunners, just because they're so fucking bizarre. Turbo and Truth are just so fucking hysterical. They're just so classic bad '80s wrestling tag team jobbers that I'm all here for it. So their promo was hysterical. I was just dying during their promo, and then
I
when they were in the
can't.
ring, it was hysterical. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't beat Action Andretti and Darius Martin, but I think they're funny and I enjoy watching them.
That would have been the most 80s thing to do, though. Come in as
Yeah,
jobbers and still win.
and still win. Yep,
But that ROH, watch it, but break it into like 2 sessions, and you'll appreciate it a lot more.
no doubt. All right. So how about Impact?
Okay, Crazy Steve. Crazy
Yes.
motherfucker Steve. I thought he was gonna
Crazy
cash in.
motherfucking thing.
I thought he was gonna cash in last night. Not even gonna lie. I was looking forward to it. There are times that I forget that man is blind,
Yeah.
and last
Yep. I
night was
agree.
one of them. I
Hmm.
cannot wait to see him beat the dog shit out of Tommy Dreamer. Also,
Yeah. No, I'm here for that.
okay, while we are speaking about Impact Wrestling, did you hear the good news?
I don't know. You tell me, and I'll tell you if I heard it or not.
Okay, so
Maybe.
for those who watch wrestling news, if you watch Cultaholic and you know who Tom Campbell is, Please send him love because he's going to be announcing for Impact Turning Point. He's going to be announcing for a few other things for Impact. He he single-handedly got us Grado versus Jeff Jarrett, by the way. If you guys didn't know, they surprised him on the Cultaholic news. The first one that happened on Friday because we're recording this on Friday, um, and just
Yep.
the happy tears. Joe Henry popped up. They said his name and he appeared.
Yeah.
But yes, so ray of sunshine there. But speaking of Joe Henry, I thought last night was gonna be the night that it was gonna be the turn. I was waiting whole time for
Yeah.
him to turn
Last
on
night was
your
really
more.
weird. So the whole thing is weird. So Yuya gets the fired briefcase. You get the kind of
Hmm.
this sad little thing in the ring. Then you get a match where Santino says if they win, Yuya can stay, but then they lose the match. So I guess I don't totally understand. Like, why even why even do the match if you're just gonna have them lose and he still gets fired? I'm assuming this is the end of his excursion, or he's going somewhere else as part of his excursion before he goes to Japan. That's why he's doing this angle. It just seems weird to have the match to stay and then lose that to if he's just gonna leave. But that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the match. I mean, I did. It just
I
I
think it
thought
was
you were
more
trying to
like,
bury the lead, which is that Kenta's coming back to Impact
oh no,
Wrestling
no, no,
for
no, no,
Bound
no,
for
no.
Glory.
I'm looking forward to that. That is gonna be interesting depending on how long he stays and what all he wants to do. But when it comes to Uramura,
Yeah.
I think what happened was, um, a lot of them go out on their back. So he won the
Yep.
briefcase. So in order to kind of make up for the win, he had to take the L. It was a good match. It was them. It was Joya versus
Yep.
um the Rascals.
Rascals.
I
Yep.
appreciated Joe Henry calling them the second and third best member of the Rascals, and he did not
Right?
say
Yeah,
which was which.
Posse for sure. I laughed at that for sure.
Uh, Joe
Yes.
Henry is so funny when he wants to be. Um, we had promos from Moose, and Moose was like, I know you.
Yeah.
I wanted, like, I really, he's like, I really wanted the tag team opportunity. But since I got this heavyweight,
Right? Yeah, no one's buying that. No one's buying that. Yeah, no, I thought that was he did perfect. He came off perfect.
let's see.
Rhino's
What,
back and healthy apparently, so
any hoodles.
because he was
Um,
gone for a minute.
anyway, um, what is going on with the design?
I have no idea. I don't think they know. I think they're, Eric Young, was the leader and the group was good. I mean, I didn't really care for Diener or in the beginning, but kind of grew on me. And then I thought they were good when Khan came over and they had Eric Young, and then Eric Young left, and I thought, well, it's got to be the end of it because Diener can't carry it himself. And then I thought he'd been doing an okay job, but I have no idea. I think they don't know what they want to do. I think it feels directionless.
I think
I'm not sure
part
what
of
the
the
overall goal is at this point.
I think the problem is Joe Doring isn't there.
Yeah.
Joe Doring gave it kind of like more purpose, but because he's
Hmm.
sick, he hasn't. Hopefully he'll be able to come back soon because I miss him. But yeah.
So I do want to talk for just a quick second about Jonathan Gresham and Mike Bailey. So Gresham's frustrated because he gets all these shit matches and he wants guys that just want to really wrestle. So he only wants to apparently wrestle Mike Bailey every week. I feel like these guys have wrestled at least a half a dozen times this year, not just in Impact, in different. But it seems like a lot now. When I watched this match, I was like, I've seen this match enough times already. Like they still do good and it's still fun, but it's like it doesn't have the same impact that it did the first time or even the second or third time now that it's like the sixth or seventh time. So I don't know. They Bailey didn't win the Ultimate X. Alan Angels did and lost in the opening match to um, Chris Sabin on the show, and so
Which was
I
never.
thought Bailey would win. Bailey feels like he's kind of in a holding pattern. Like they like I don't know. They're not totally sure what to do with Bailey. I don't know why they haven't put a belt on him yet, but
I think because he's wrestling in so many different companies to make up for that lost
Yeah,
time, they don't want to give
yeah,
him a belt because if they give him a belt, then it kind of ties him down to one company, and he may not want to be specifically tied down to one company, even though Impact has that really great flexible schedule that works out for so
yeah.
many of their talent. Um, I I have to laugh because I appreciated seeing Jonathan Gresham cheat. I appreciated him
Yes,
being like,
yes.
you know what? F this shit. I've been a good dude. I'm not getting anything from it. So let's just go this way because I can see him and Jordan Grace being the couple that's like, we tried it the right way. We got fucked over. We try to be
Yeah.
good people. So now we're gonna be bad. And it's running roughshod over the women's division, over the men's division. And I can see them finally beating up and getting rid of Alicia Edwards. Please do that, Jordan Grace. Please. Please do that. Like ASAP.
Yeah, Lisa Edwards is terrible.
I I just want to
Um,
know, is she from
yeah.
Jersey? Is she from Canada? Where are you from, ma'am? Can you pick wherever you're from and stick to that? Um,
And stick
it
to
was
that.
Impact was good last night for me. The thing that stood out, of course, was Trini's match against Giselle Shaw. I really liked it. Tasha Steelz also had a
Hmm.
good match earlier on, but for me, the Trinity versus Giselle Shaw match was good because you're starting to see the cracks in the Chantarage, especially
Hmm.
Jay Vidal.
Yep.
Um, Trinity wins because Jay
Yep.
Vidal made a mistake and cost Giselle the match. Afterwards, they're beating up Trinity. Out comes Mickey James, and Mickey James lays out the challenge. Here's my question for you. Do you think Trinity
Yes.
will beat Mickey James, and will it be fair, or will it be because of cheating?
If they're smart, I think Trinity gets the clean win. Either way, I assume she retains the belt here. I think to give her, and not that she needs it, but a big win over Mickey James at a big pay per view, an Impact staple pay per view, maybe their biggest pay per view of the year. Um, a huge win for their new star over the aging veteran. I think is a big deal. So I think she should get the big clean pin here, but I think she get the win either way. What do you think?
I want her to get the win. I want it to be clean. I don't think it'll be clean. I think it'll be like Giselle Shaw comes out and causes Mickey James to lose, and then she can be like, "Thanks
Yeah.
to me, you won. Without me, you would have lost." And plays mind games with Trinity to get another title shot. It's gonna be interesting. This match has a lot of opportunities to be good and interesting and help out folks. So we'll see.
Yeah, and they could go in a few different ways with the storyline. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up deciding to do.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
But
thought
that
I
was
thought
Impact.
Impact was good.
I think it was too. I
I
think
thought for the
for
most part it was
me,
good.
if I had to watch wrestling and
I
I
wouldn't say you have
had
to go back
like,
and watch the show, but there were a couple watch we go back check out.
yeah, you can go back and watch YouTube clips. The YouTube clips will do you good, or Twitter clips. Um, Good show. Everything wasn't necessary, but it built up to a lot of different things.
I
I
would
guess it's time
agree.
to talk about BTE.
BTE.
BTE, the elite. Um, so
B Elite.
congratulations to Rosario Grillo and Dean Alexander. The stand-ins have also won the um the trios tag team championships. Don't know their third, but the trios belt has also been won by the stand-ins because they're the stand-ins, and they finally got to take a seat this week. Um, this week was kind of a little bit of a throwback where they're playing games and having fun or whatever. The Dark Order is telling them because they own the Hun Bucks and they don't want Matt Jackson doesn't want the rest of his team to know just how sucky he is as a businessman. Um, he they told him that they had to clear out of their locker room. So the Dark Order took over the locker room. Um, Matt Jackson's way of getting everyone out was to give his brother Nick money to gamble, even though Nick has a huge gambling addiction. Um, and he said that he's gonna try an alcoholic beer for the first time with Hangman. And Hangman was like, "Are you gonna smoke some weed with me too?" Um, that like the way he just said it, just so calm, just made me laugh because I was like, "Wait, what?" Had to go back and
That's
listen to that again because he was like, "Yes, you can smoke some weed with me." And I was like, "What? We just that's the thing we can
and
say."
now it explains why Hangman is so just like, yeah, whatever all the time. Just like, yeah. Because
But yeah,
he's stoned as hell.
hey, yeah. I find that hilarious. Um, then we have like the kind of big thing that was kind of going around this whole thing. Because there was no Ryan Nemeth this week, which kind of sucked. Um, it really was it wasn't like something you have to go out of your way to watch this week because it was just kind of Matt trying to get them to get out of the locker room so the Dark Order could take it behind the scenes of like matches and stuff, just kind of hanging around. It wasn't really a big thing this week. It was kind of an episode that you could miss, which makes me wonder what's coming up because every time they've had relatively calm things, you have Vanguard One's funeral like a week or two after. You
Right.
have the exorcism of Cody Rhodes a week or two after. You have these things that just make you go, huh.
So
Um,
hopefully this is foreshadowing of some exciting stuff to come.
I saw a post where Flip Gordon is no longer accepting independent show bookings.
Oh, interesting.
In light of MJF and that whole last segment on Dynamite, I'm now wondering if MJF is getting some former friends of folks, like former friends of the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega and Adam Cole, and just kind of, manipulating them to do his dirty work so that he can hold the Triple B forever.
Right. That
So
wouldn't
I'm
surprise
watching
you.
as you look at being the elite for the next few weeks, you might start picking up on some things they're putting down because every single time they give you hints on what's to come if you pay enough attention. But this week's BTE was not anything that you really have to go out of your way to watch. It was good, but you could miss it if you need to.
I wonder, is there going to be any impact on BTE since the strike seems to be resolved, or they're resolving the strike? I guess they've come to an agreement at least. I don't know if people are back to work yet or not, but
The
apparently
Writers
they're
Guild.
continuing.
The
Yeah.
Writers Guild did, not
Okay.
the
Oh, not
not
the
SAG.
actors, not SAG.
No, not that I've known. Not that I know
Okay.
yet. What would be the impact? The only impact would be
I have
maybe
no
less
idea.
Ryan Nemeth,
Yeah.
but who knows? You never quite know with him. Um, I don't really see an impact too much on BTE. I would like um AEW to turn something kind of like BTE, not BTE, but having like a reality show kind of similar where you're seeing them travel, you're seeing the friendships, you're seeing like more authenticity. Because that is how a lot of folks got introduced to AEW and a lot of folks got introduced to the newer people that came into AEW when they were in New Japan and when they were in ROH. And it was
Yeah.
a really great way to see it. Also, when you were talking about Rocky Romero wrestling for CMLL, Rocky
Yeah.
Romero wrestles for everyone.
There you go.
He's going to
Yep.
be on Rampage tonight, I believe,
Okay.
against Eddie Kingston, I think. I
Oh,
think
that's
that's
right.
what I
Yep.
saw. Yeah. So Rocky Romero is everywhere that you want to be. But yeah, that's it. That's all. That is BTE. That concludes Under the Radar.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, please make sure that you stay and watch us tomorrow for our collision watch along. as
Yep.
well as No Mercy. Come watch your peoples be here.
Should we play our
Although,
Dolores commercial?
yeah, that's gonna take us out. So until next time, folks, it is me, CM. It is ALW over there with his audio issues. After this commercial, we will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Hey everybody, this is the Workhouse Wrestling Network schedule for this week. Ladies and gentlemen, Mondays on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, you have entered the square circle at 11 a.m. Let me tell you, Sammy and ALW, they battling it out to see who will be the Enter the Square Circle champion. Listen, you can't miss an episode. It is riveting. Okay? So just a little secret. Tune in 11 a.m. on Monday. Tuesday, it's Seeing Stars, 10:30 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. But ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm about to break your heart. We're taking a break because your girl needs some rest, okay? But when we come back, it's going to be fire because we're going to be seeing these stars from New Japan Pro Wrestling and GCW and Stardom. You ain't going to want to miss that either. But then the real party starts at 10:30 at night on Tuesday on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at the Cookout, where they play fire games and talk hot topics and have a good time. You're gonna have to pull you up a seat because we're gonna feed you real good. Ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesdays, all four night at 11:30 p.m. That's where you're gonna find the WWE meet, okay? It is going to be Raw and NXT with Sammy and ALW, and they preview WWE pay-per-views. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, Thursday is live aftermath of Dynamite at 10:15 p.m. on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Listen, we talk all things AEW, Rampage, Collision, the Dynamite from the day before. We preview shows coming up. We preview pay-per-views coming up. That is your one-stop shop for AEW. If you want to find out what happened, tune in at 10:15. Then on Friday, that's when the party starts for the weekend. Friday Night Fights at 8 p.m. on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Starting off at 8 p.m. with WWE SmackDown. And you're going to get the SmackDown from Anika and Sammy, I tell you. But then our parents, one of the parents, CM and ALW, going to come in and they just going to rampage everywhere. So you got to see it, okay? But then you wake up Saturday morning, and you know what you're gonna get? Under the radar with CM and ALW. And you know what you're gonna find? BTE, Impact, ROH, all these great things on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at 11 a.m. Okay? If you missed out on the week, they'll catch you up. And it ain't gonna take forever either. Ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday night, it's Saturday Night is All Right at 8 p.m. where we watch AEW Collision. Ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be great. We have a great time. That's generally when we all come back together again and have a good time on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday's supposed to be our day off. But you know, if it's a pay-per-view, it's a Workhouse Wrestling Network. So make sure you tune in. If there's a pay-per-view on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we will be there. Ladies and gentlemen, you see this icon, YouTube audio, you can listen to us live, play hot games, talk hot topics. Just be great, okay? Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you see this icon on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, click it the next day and you can listen all to the party we had the day before. Ladies and gentlemen, also, last but not least, if you see this on YouTube audio, click it, okay? Because you know what you're going to get? You get to listen to us watch along live to pay-per-views and shows and have a good time, okay? Because we dropping gems. You got Sammy with the food, CM with the knowledge, Anika with the good hard movies and work, and you got ALW who he just drops old school wisdom. Okay? So make sure you join